Lee Anderson's Real World. I'm Lee Anderson, the Reform UK Member of Parliament for Ashfield, and on the show tonight he's back straight from the allotment, Stephen Pound. He's been handing marrows out like nobody's business. He's given a big marrow actually to Lizzie Cundy, who's our proppy guest tonight. He's left in the corner, he's back because we're desperate for guests. Anyway, this week we saw the 50,000th Channel migrant to cross the Channel. This is despite, Stephen, Starmer keep bleating on about smashing the gangs. Yeah. He's been saying it for a year. The numbers are up by nearly, 40-odd%. 50,000 have crossed the Channel. Mate, what's going off? Is he going to smash the gang?
Well, let's get a couple of things straight. Firstly, no government in the history of this country has come up with an answer to this problem. The Tories had 14 years to sort this out, and they came up with some half-baked Mickey Mouse scheme about Rwanda. I think they sent one person to Rwanda. If we send 49 people back to France, or 50 people, that's 49 more than they did. Now, look, the reality is, when you've got a couple of people who are desperate to take over the leadership of the Conservative Party, going 26 miles out of their way into Dieppe and Calais to be horrified and shocked, as you did with Jenrick and Phil Pierce.
Let me just stop you there, Stephen, for 1 minute. You see, Lizzie, I've just asked him a really, really simple question, and he's doing anything but answer the question. So take a breather, Stephen. Think about the answer. I'll come to you, Lizzie.
Typical politician. Look, he's going on about the last 14 years.
You can't deny
Keir Starmer has actually been in for over a year, and the situation has got worse. I mean, the arrest of the smugglers has actually gone down by 16%. So this smashing the gangs, he couldn't even smash the top of his boiled egg, Lee. This is the trouble. And now, if you noticed, he stopped saying it, and he's given it all to Yvette Cooper, who now looks like a scared rabbit with a hernia. I'm telling you, they have not got a clue, and they've given 800 million to the French. They've not even got their feet wet. And now we've got the small boats on steroids. It's 60 foot and can put on, I think, 107 people. I mean, this situation is getting from worse to a nightmare. This is a massive crisis, and Keir Starmer hasn't got a clue.
Of course, Stephen, Liz is quite correct, isn't she? It's getting worse and worse and worse under Starmer.
Well, it's got worse and worse. I mean, there's no question about that. I can't argue. It's got worse. You know, as I said, we've still not reached the figures under Boris Johnson, which is pretty horrendous there. But look, here's the reality. It's very easy to come up with, and I think I'll attack my own party for this, to actually come up with some slogan about smash the gangs. It's as bad as stop the boats. What we want to do is have people be a bit more sensible, a bit more rational. The only way we can actually deal with this issue, firstly, is by processing people as quickly as possible.
Oh, no, Stephen, no. We're not having this, mate.
We cannot have young men sitting in hotels doing nothing all day. The devil makes work for idle hands.
More quickly does not stop people coming over the Channel.
It does.
It doesn't, Stephen.
Because at the moment, if you, I mean, just try to imagine for a second that you're some smuggler trying to actually sell the product. You know, get to the UK, keep your head down for 3 years, bish bash bosh, you're sorted. If you come to the UK, you're going to get processed within 3 weeks, and then you get sent back. That kicks the bottom off the market.
Sent back to where?
To Albania, I don't care where. Don't forget, we just come up with a list of all the countries that we can now deport people to. Afghanistan and Tehran and Iran are problems, I agree with you. But don't forget, people are coming from Eritrea now, it's the biggest number.
Look,
why can't we send people back to Eritrea?
You're doing exactly what your leader's doing, not listening, not reading the room.
And not answering the question.
And not answering the question. You're slippery. I'm sorry, it's Keir Starmer. Have you taken lessons from him how to avoid questions? You really have, Stephen. Look, this is such a worry. We're seeing protests everywhere. Near me, in Aldershot, they're mothers that are scared for their own children to go out. With, you know, we've got a hotel near us that's full of migrants, and they're scared, and they're wearing pink. They're protesting, you know, peacefully. Yet they've been called Nazis. They've been called far right. This is all because Keir Starmer has used this word, and he doesn't want to do anything about it. Look, the first order of any government is to look after its own people. This government is not doing it, and you are as bad, Stephen Pound,
Lizzie,
because you're not admitting
never
that this is a massive crisis, and he hasn't got a clue what to do. You've lost your way. I'm going to buy you a sat-nav, Stephen, because you really don't know what you're saying. This country, the first thing they're worried about is immigration. 64% of even Labour voters, they're worried.
Well, it's not a sat-nav you need, is it? It's probably a telescope, because I want to know what planet Stephen's living on. But come back, Stephen, come back
to Earth, Stephen,
Listen,
please.
I tell you, the planet I'm living on is the planet Real World. You tell me, look, hang on a second, Lizzie, I respect you, and I think you've got some marvellous metaphors about my sat-nav and that, but in reality, what did the Tories do in 40 years? Who's got the
Hang on about the Tories again.
No, hang on a second.
Now, Stephen.
Sorry, there's three major parties in this country.
on about the Tories.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't
no.
get into government.
Yeah.
We knew they were disastrous, and that's why Labour got in by default. It's now Labour have been in a year, and things are 50% worse than they were
Lizzie,
this time last year. They haven't arrested the smugglers. He said he was doing all this secret stuff, smashing the gangs. He's done absolutely nothing. The 16% is down on arrests of arrest on gangs. So tell me, Stephen, what is Keir Starmer doing?
I'll tell you
Because all he's
exactly
doing is looking like a scared
Keir
rabbit.
Starmer is not grandstanding like some of these people wandering around Calais and Dieppe. What he's doing is he's actually putting the building blocks into place. He's actually working with the Germans to actually stop the boats being brought in from China. He's working with the French to actually have a deal to send them back. The idea
He's giving a load of money to the French.
You can
who are
stand on the
doing
white
nothing.
cliffs of Dover and scream all night, but
the
that's
French
not
are
going to
doing
stop the
nothing.
boats.
The only
You've
time
got
they
to
did-
work with Europe.
Stephen, let me talk. The only one time the French did something on the boats was when they had a camera crew.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Stanley Knife.
They were Stanley Knife. and we've had our own, Shadow Home Secretary that went to Calais and he had a machete thrown at him and all sorts. Look, this is getting out of hand. This is a crisis.
Okay.
You and your government
Do you agree,
do not
though?
want to do anything about it.
Do you agree with me, Stephen, that any people arriving across the Channel should be immediately detained in secure camps, not put in hotels to roam around the streets of places like London, where I live in the week? They should be detained, ready for deportation, and not allowed to roam free.
That's exactly
Is it yes or no?
Yes. That's exactly what happens in Holland. In Holland, you arrive at Schiphol, you don't even leave the airport. You actually get processed there and then. Yeah, but the reality is, what Lizzie said is actually a very important thing in amongst, the brutal assault on me, which I take on the chin.
Brutal assault? How dare you?
What she said was about the way that people's attitudes are changing. The Labour Party in the past has been traditionally very squeamish about this particular issue of immigration. Look at Germany. Germany took more immigrants than any other country in Europe. They've now closed the border. Friedrich Merz has said enough is enough, except he said it in German, obviously. But the reality is that all over the continent of Europe, people are saying we have to do something positive. And we are doing it in this country by working with our European colleagues, with Interpol, with the international law enforcement.
What, by giving the French a load of money, 800 million?
Lizzie, if that
Stephen,
stops it...
they haven't stopped it. This one in, one out. This absolute fiasco.
let's talk about that.
I mean, come on.
On Lee's important
A merry-go-round in the Channel.
Lee,
It's not
every
going to
time,
even touch the sides.
look at the RAF Marston. We're actually doing this already. People are coming in there and being processed, and they're not leaving Marston. But every other time we try to use some ex-MOD property, people are up in arms and they're screaming blue murder.
They are.
Yeah.
We've got veterans living on the streets, Stephen. Of course they're going to be up in arms.
I'm sorry.
Don't you see that?
We're not looking after our own people, and do you not understand why people are protesting?
Yeah, I do,
Why people are worried what's going on in their communities? They're scared. They're sick of their taxpayers' money going to this when we've got our own veterans lying on the streets. We've got our own homelessness. Where no one cares. We are not a charity, and we're bursting at the seams.
Hang on a sec. We're
only a small island. We can't take any more.
Lizzie, today is VJ Day. Today is the day we remember the incredible sacrifice of the Forgotten Army against the Japanese 80 years ago. Every council that I've ever been involved with has always had a priority allocation system for veterans and ex-servicemen and women. Every council works, and your council has done the same. You prioritise the housing for ex-servicemen and women. That's what we should be doing. But let's not say that it's an either or. You can actually have firm border controls, and you can actually sort out the processing of immigrants and still support.
No,
and
our
credit
veterans,
armed
veterans
forces.
are being let down. For
in
our
what way?
own
Give me an
veterans
example.
not to be looked after.
Well, give me one
have been
example.
kicked out of their, where they're living. Yeah. Patrick Christie did a feature on it. You should watch GB News more. You might learn something, Stephen. And they're not being looked after. The first order of any government is to look after its own people, and we are not being looked after.
Let me just ask you a simple question, Lizzie. How do you feel as a young woman
Thank you.
walking around the streets, knowing that these hotels exist in our communities with these young men lurking around, young, unvetted, undocumented men lurking around in our communities? How does that feel for you?
I'm scared. I can't do what I used to do. I used to do a lot of events, doing all the interviews. I'd park up in London, no worry about walking to my car on my own. I can't do that anymore. I am literally scared. I've had my phone stolen twice just from walking down the street, them coming up on these e-scooter bikes. One time I had a load of Afghani men surround me, and it wasn't for a man that happened to see it, came into my hand, or else I just... God knows what would have happened to me. I'm fearful, I'm scared, like a lot of women out there, and scared for the future of my kids. My own son has left for Australia because he just doesn't know what is going on in this country. He doesn't feel there's a future for him anymore.
Well, I'm obviously sorry to hear that, Lizzie, and you've got my sympathy, and I actually feel a great deal of sympathy for you on that, and a lot of women, young women in your position. But we've had crime on the streets of this country for decades. It wasn't a golden era. Dixon of Dock Green was a character in a TV show, so he wasn't a real person.
So, just come into the future.
What we get back to, Lee, is where you and I and Lizzie, I think all of us agree, if you have a group of young men in a hotel with nothing to do all day, then the devil will make work for idle hands. You've got to get these people processed, and if they go back to Albania or to Eritrea, so be it.
Steve, 80% of these young men are being granted asylum status. Where do they go then?
They're not. It's not 80% of the young men.
It is.
No, it is.
And they're getting all the perks. They're getting dental care, NHS treatment. They're getting all the perks. I just found out. Let me just tell you, my friends at this break took their kids to Legoland. They were charged like £25. Migrants, they're allowed in for £2. They're getting all. That is facts. They're getting, I even read in I think it was the Daily Mail, they're getting free hair extensions and haircuts and all sorts of things.
I'm sorry.
You would love free hair extensions, surely, Stephen.
Well, I was saying...
There is no £2 weigh-in for immigrants at Legoland. I can categorically assure you about that.
Check it out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Fact.
I know that's not a fact. But look, there are a lot of this so-called dental care and medical care, checking for TB and infectious diseases. Absolutely right. If you've got anybody in this country, in America, you cannot set foot in there.
Can't get a dental appointment, Stephen.
Yeah.
And my friend's been waiting on the waiting list for nearly a year to get her vaccine. And then, she's paid in since a young girl into this country, can't get seen. And then she sees what's going on with the migrants. It's not fair. Do you not understand people's anger?
I'm
sorry. Do you not understand their frustration? Do you not understand why people are leaving this country?
I'm sorry, you can take 50,000 immigrants out of the equation. You've still got 6 million people in this country. Taking the immigrants out of the equation is not going to provide massive new resources for the NHS. Come on.
This is where you and your government are going so wrong.
No, it's because,
read the room, see what's going on under your nose, see what's going on in people's communities.
Where do you think I live?
Right, guys, we'll have to close it there. What we've learned so far in this debate is Lizzie is very angry and Stephen Powell will not be getting
I'm on the
hair
floor,
extensions anytime soon. But coming up next, we've got the CEO of Crest Events, that's Mike Driscoll.
If you're a US resident, let's face it, things feel uncertain right now. America's national debt, over $36 trillion and climbing. Inflation, still eating away at your savings. And the dollar, down nearly 8% this year, with more countries walking away from it. Meanwhile, the markets, one day they're up, the next day, trillions gone in a blink. So it's no surprise people are asking, where can I actually put my money and sleep at night? That's why more investors are turning to gold and silver. Gold's up over 24% this year, smashing records and soaring past $3,300 an ounce. And some analysts say we could see $6,000 gold before the end of Trump's term. And silver, it's heating up fast, driven by demand in tech, solar and defence. Some analysts say it could double in value this year. If you've been thinking about moving part of your IRA or 401k into gold or silver, tax and penalty free, our friends at Priority Gold make it simple. They're endorsed by Rich Dad's Robert Kiyosaki, ranked number 1 by Forbes and Financial Services Review, and trusted by thousands of everyday Americans. Right now, GB News viewers can get a free wealth preservation guide from Priority Gold. It shows you exactly how to add real gold and silver to your IRA or 401k tax and penalty free. Step-by-step plain English, no pressure, just smart information you can act on. Just scan the QR code, click the link in the description below, or if you're a US resident, text WEALTH to 24999. That's WEALTH to 24999 and claim your free guide today. The price of gold can go down as well as up. Past performance does not indicate future performance. Only invest what you can afford.
Welcome back. It's time for real people from the real world. We've got Mike Driscoll here. He's the owner of Wild Crest events.
Wild Crest events there, yeah.
These are for sporting events, for concerts, and for events like that. Tell me a little bit more.
That's correct.
Before we get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, so we cover sporting events like the football, rugby, cricket, tennis, predominantly for the corporate market, but we're seeing a lot more individuals book these type of events now since the pandemic.
Yeah, see, I go to, I watch Nottingham Forest. I know you're a Man United fan.
That's it.
There's always one, a local from London. But every game is sold out now in the Premiership.
Yeah.
Virtually, I mean, every Forest game is sold out. How do people get tickets?
Yeah, so you just got to make sure you're booking with reputable companies. So look out for official resellers like ourselves at Wild Crest Events. So you can check people's websites. And there's a few different companies out there that sell official hospitality packages.
So you say reputable companies where people should get their hospitality tickets. How do people know they're reputable? Because we've seen a few, well, I've known a few people buy tickets from Facebook. Right.
Yes.
That's dodgy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you need to make sure that you're booking with reputable companies. And there's a few things you can do. You can check websites out. Lots of fly-by-night companies are setting up websites now, but just check, make sure there's a contact number on there, speak to them, check reviews, check company's house, and just make sure you're booking with people that actually have the tickets.
So don't you think, with these hospitality packages that you sell and other companies sell, that people are being ripped off a little bit?
In terms of inflated prices?
Yeah.
Or? Well, it's the supply and demand, really. I mean, obviously, it depends on really the arrangements that they have with different venues, but, you need to make sure that you're not overpaying for these certain things.
So look at some football grounds, you can maybe get a Premiership ticket, if you're a season ticket holder, probably cost you 40 or 50 quid a game. Yet you look on the hospitality, you go on their websites and look at the hospitality packages, the same sort of ticket, obviously there's a bit of food chucked in and sometimes a bit of drinks. You're paying 200, 300, sometimes 500 quid. For a ticket, that's a lot of money, mate, isn't it?
It can be. I mean, it is more geared towards the corporate market, so people entertaining clients, but we're seeing a lot more people now who are individuals who are actually booking these packages. And some of them are variate. So you can book from, entry level up to the super VIP level.
Yeah.
So there is different budgets for different ones,
So how did you get into this game then?
So I've been in it for about 20 years now. We started off official hospitality providers for most things, football, rugby, cricket, tennis. As an entrepreneur, had my ups and downs through the years, but we've really seen a real increase since the pandemic. In 2022, I started working with Alfie Best, and we're now business partners with Wild Crest Events, and we've kind of scaled the company considerably since then. So it's going in the right direction.
So what's been your biggest seller this year?
This year, well, the football season's about to start, so we're doing well with that at the moment.
How do you get your tickets though?
We deal with the actual venues directly and affiliate providers. So we deal with these guys directly. We make sure we have the stock and then we put it on our website. But we have lots of people in the office that deal with relationships with different corporate people. Yeah. So we are the go-to people for these kind of events.
So I guess the Premier League is probably our best export, actually, isn't it, from this country, I think, sporting-wise.
Well, the Premier League's the biggest league in the world, isn't it? So yeah, absolutely.
So what about the Grand Prix?
Yeah, we do the Grand Prix. So we signed an arrangement with Formula One this year, and we offer the paddock clubs and different packages around the world now. So we do that for all the different circuits around the world. We do Wimbledon, the rugby at Twickenham, and other venues like Murrayfield. So yeah.
I have to ask you about Wimbledon. What would a ticket in hospitality cost for the Wimbledon final? Off the top of your head?
Well, this year we see, because we deal with the debenture tickets there. So you had Alcatraz this year, and you've got, I think it was around about 12,500 it was fetching for a debenture ticket.
Hold on a minute, what does that mean, debenture ticket?
So the debenture ticket is a member's ticket. Okay. So you have to have a debenture ticket to actually go into Wimbledon, and you can physically sell these tickets as well. You can't do the ballot tickets or anything like that. So with a debenture ticket, it gives you access to a debenture area, and then you can get your strawberries and cream, and obviously as well a glass of champagne in there as well.
But they're some of the best seats. It's a steal, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. But that was because of the actual people in the actual final. So if it was a lesser final, it would go for less, but it does fluctuate in price.
And what about the FA Cup final?
FA Cup final, I mean, we typically don't get involved in it too much, but I mean, you can see that go for quite a bit of money as well sometimes.
Go on, tell me how much. People are interested in
Yeah. I mean, it depends really on the actual fixture. So I think people that would have something in the lines of...
So if it's Man United, Liverpool, for example.
Well, that's a big game, isn't it?
That's a big game.
So you'd probably be fetching probably 2,000 maybe, something like that. Or it depends really on the level of the actual package. Yeah, yeah.
And also, I mean, Wembley's a great venue. Boxing.
Yes.
If we was to get the fight which most British fans wanted, which was Fury versus...
AJ?
AJ, yeah.
Yeah.
What would they go for?
You're probably looking in the region of about probably £500 to about £1,500 per person, depending on the level of hospitality. Ringside, you're probably going to be looking at around about £3,000, £4,000, maybe even £5,000 a ticket ringside. Yeah. You're going to get a lot of stars who want to go to that one.
Well, that's incredible. Isn't
Yeah.
it? And I mean, my sons went to see Oasis at Wembley just a few weeks ago. I mean, they were lucky. They was you there?
I was there last Sunday actually.
Yeah, they was there on the Saturday 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and they had a great time. But they was lucky enough to get the tickets to a friend.
Yeah.
But goodness knows how much they would have had to pay if they'd gone onto these dodgy websites.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard some ridiculous prices.
What's the worst one you've heard?
I think about £5,000 a ticket. Yeah, I don't know who's paying that, but
Slightly cheaper than a pint of beer at Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
I think they were paying about £9-10 a pint.
Yes,
at Wembley.
Well, the good thing about the hospitality, you get all the food and drink included, so you haven't got to worry about that, which is quite a nice thing.
So in your career in this industry, Mike, what is because obviously there's perks to the job, there's got to be perks to the job, going to great events. What's the best event you've been to on one of your own freebies?
Well, I've got to say, actually, Oasis recently was probably up there. That was phenomenal, yeah. The experience, the crowd, everyone singing, it was probably one of the best ones I've been to, yeah.
We'll leave it there then, mate, shall we?
Yeah, excellent.
That's Mike Driscoll.
Thank you, Lee.
Thanks for that. Coming up next, we've got right versus left. It's time for right versus left. And before we start, we've got some breaking news on the show tonight. Stephen Pound is back on the tablets. Is that right, Stephen?
I don't know where this rumour's come from.
It started with Mike Porky Parry, I believe.
Well, I was going to say, I want to have a word with him. Because
you was witness to this, mate.
I was. Is it something to do with your blood pressure? You know.
Anyway.
But anyway,
I'm sorry, I give people blood pressure. I don't have blood pressure.
I gave you.
I did hear a slight rattle in your top pocket when you walked in. But Stephen, serious
that was
thing.
my false teeth.
Serious thing tonight. I've been speaking to many people in the hospitality industry, and this is the reason we've got Jameson on tonight. And they say they're really struggling as a consequence of Rachel Reeves's budget.
If you look at pubs, go back about 5, 10, 15 years, the smoking ban, drink driving ban, there's a whole range of things that have actually impacted it. Pubs now are totally different. There used to be smoke-driven places with blokes with caps down over their eyes, drinking 1 pint of mild and lasting all night. Pubs are completely different. The hospitality is one of the most agile industries in this country. They've changed it, they've reinvented themselves. You would not recognise a rubber dub nowadays compared to what they used to be. They are brilliant nowadays, and it's the pubs where the people are serving good food, where you've got entertainment, you've got quizzes, you've got comedy nights. They are doing well. So fair play to the hospitality
Okay then,
industry.
Stephen, let's talk to somebody who actually does know what he's talking about. That's Jameson Stokes. You work in the hospitality industry.
I do, yeah. I have restaurants here. Listen, there's more to the UK than London. The rest of the country is struggling.
I can only talk about what I know about.
Which is not very much by the sounds of it, but carry on, Jameson.
Let's be honest here, it's not just about the smoking ban and this, that and the other. It's actually to do with the VAT, it's actually to do with the taxes and the national insurance.
But pubs have been declining for the last 15 years.
But we're not talking about pubs, we're talking about the hospitality industry in general, the restaurants. Restaurants. I've got restaurants, I've got 2 restaurants in the UK. I've got, I'm paying more national insurance than I've ever paid. I'm paying 20% VAT, which is more than most countries in Europe. You're talking about Holland earlier on, Holland paid 9% VAT.
On what?
On hospitality, 9%.
What do you mean, on turnover?
No, 9% flat.
Yeah,
we pay 20%, they pay 9%.
No. Well, is that because the cost of the food's gone up or the cost of your staff's gone up?
It's nothing to do with that.
But
it's getting taxes.
Well, if you I talk to some of the local restaurants, and I'm sorry, I can only talk about what's around my way. They say people are actually not going out to dinner so much. People are eating less. The portions are getting smaller. There's a sea change in people's attitudes.
People can't afford to go out. People can't afford to go out.
Come on, Liz, I can see you.
You are talking absolute rubbish.
I'm just quoting.
There are 34 pubs closing each month in this country. They're looking at 378 pubs with restaurants closing this year under Keir Starmer because of Rachel Reeves. horrific budget, and now she'll be crying again.
Are we talking
she'll
about-
be crying again
come
in her
on.
pub food
Are we
after the next
Are we talking about
budget
pubs or are we talking about
announcements.
restaurants?
No,
It's
no,
about hospitality.
We're talking about the
But hospitality is
the
also about
hospitality
wedding
business.
venues. It's also about a whole range of different things.
Hospitality business
Yeah.
is on its knees,
Yeah.
thanks to Rachel Reeves. And it isn't just the national insurance hikes.
Yeah.
My local pub near me, a very lovely pub called the Checkers in Well, they going on about the energy bills. Keir Starmer
it's
said
unreal.
the energy bills won't go up. Another lie they told
Lies.
to get into power.
Pack of lies.
They said they are struggling so much. Not only the food prices, the national insurance, hikes, everything else, but the energy prices. It's killing the business. It's killing
Hang
small
on a sec.
business. And how can she expect growth when pubs and businesses, small businesses, are closing?
on, let's have
It
the-
doesn't make sense.
Are you honestly, seriously, with your hand on your heart, saying that everything was sweet and dandy
it
until
was
July
better.
last
It
year,
was
and
better.
then suddenly
It was better. No, it was
They've
better.
been in power
I'm
for
sorry.
over a year.
It was better before.
Pubs were closing,
Hey,
restaurants were...
calm down.
It was,
Sorry, so that's-
it was better before.
Yeah. Okay.
You
well,
can't
listen,
keep blaming
you know
the
much more
Tories.
about this
let
subject
James
than I do.
speak. He works in the hospitality
I know,
industry.
which is why I give him credit.
It was so much better before. I mean, it wasn't brilliant, but the national insurance has gone up. With people, we got 17, 18-year-old boys wanting to come in, or girls wanting jobs, but wanting 18, 19 pounds an hour. It's absolutely crazy. Listen,
But you're not going to pay that.
but there's no skilled staff out there. No one wants to work in hospitality anymore because they don't see a progressive way forward.
And they're
There's no
they can't
money.
hire. They're firing.
No, there's no hiring.
So how is that growth?
The hospitality industry is a house of cards at the moment. It's going to collapse. It's going to collapse within the next year.
But
I'm telling you.
there's
Rachel Reeves should have stayed at Halifax. She's inept at the job.
Hang on a sec.
Rachel from complaints, and she may be
There's
crying
28
even more.
universities in this country which actually do
lose a job.
degree courses in hospitality.
But people don't
they're
care.
We're training people for hospitality.
Yeah, but people in the top restaurants don't take on people from universities.
Where do they
because
take them
the
from?
robots? They just want people with personalities. They want people who have got flair. People who want to do it as a job. They're not interested in that
But listen,
crap.
a government cannot say to someone, you shall have personality, you shall have flair. You've either got it or you haven't got it.
No.
That's not the government's
I
fault.
understand that, but if there's no progressive way forward and people can't get a
But
job,
also another
course there
aspect
is.
which is
Yeah.
really
Listen.
important, Stephen, which you're missing, is the social aspect of pubs and the hospitality
So you're
business.
talking to me about the social
No, but
aspect.
with
You
pubs
can't get me out of
closing,
pubs.
we've got 34 pubs closing a month. If your local pub closes, that's the end of your whole social connections and your friends where you meet for your mental health. It's having a huge effect on
Well,
people.
I'd say the
Oh,
same about...
listen, it doesn't even just go down to the restaurant. It goes down from the farmers, it goes to the butchers, it goes to the fishmongers, the veg suppliers,
Look what she's doing
the
to the
delivery
farmers.
drivers. The whole country is going to collapse because the VAT's too high, wages are too high, the national insurance is too high, everything's
Killing
too high.
business. She's killing small business. She's killing the pubs.
Do you
And you were
think-
going to sit up and stick up for Rachel Reeves.
Hang on a sec. Yes, I will. Because I
So
think-
why was she crying? She's crying because she knows her job is on the line and she's out of her depth.
Lizzie, that's a low
Completely
blow.
out of her depth.
She's out of her
That's
depth.
completely
It
out of
isn't
her
a low
depth.
blow, it's the truth.
That's. I'm sorry. I wouldn't go there.
I'm crying for the landlords.
Hang
I'm
on
crying
a
for
sec.
the
You're
pubs
talking.
that are getting
Listen.
closed down.
Here's get the important point you said about the community hub. I mean, I would say my church is a community hub, and I'd say my local pub is a community hub. More than, and also some of our local restaurants. Mostly around my way, they tend to be.
But they're closing
Bangladeshi.
down, Stephen.
But
That's
they're
the whole
not.
point.
They are. Maybe
they
not.
are.
Listen, but you're talking about London here. I'm talking about the south coast, the north, Wales, Scotland. The whole country is collapsing.
But statistically, pubs, the number of pubs
not
has not
interested.
decreased. Sorry.
No, it's not. It's a load of nonsense.
Whereabouts are your restaurants then, are they?
Got Chichester, we've got one in Hampshire. It's just nonsense. I
But
mean,
in hospitality, there's 69,000 jobs have been lost. More likely to be 84,000 jobs lost. Can you not see what it's doing to the whole entire business?
crippling
And
it.
you can sit there and stick up for
it's
her.
crippling it. Trust me, it's crippling it. I'm paying.
These are people's
I'm
lives.
paying the wages. I'm building restaurants just to pay wages. I'm not making much profit. I'm not making any profit in some cases. No, because it's just paying wages. All we're doing
Speak
is
to
paying
Adam
wages.
Brooks that owns this pub. Listen to him.
I do, I've got no choice.
How it's all gone up. With the national insurance, on the wages, he's having to. He
Electric.
can't take anyone
Right,
on.
yeah,
The electric.
He's literally
think-
firing and can't
Cost of
hire.
living crisis.
That's not
I think
growth.
Stephen's a little bit bruised and back. That's his second back.
Here's a man.
I don't think Stephen knows where he is.
Well, I'm in a pub where I frequently am to be found.
how many fingers? I mean,
Right,
honestly,
on that note, we'll move swiftly on to the yes or no quiz.
Don't ask me who the Prime Minister
Are you
is.
going to pay attention, Stephen? Very rude tonight on this show. Anyway, it's a yes or no.
He's had a-
quiz.
We just asked
He's
his
had a
name.
skinful again. Yes or no quiz. Really, really simple. Yes or no, Stephen. Are you with us?
Aye.
You can't even know that, can you? Right, question 1 to Stephen. Will Starmer smash the gangs?
Yes.
Lizzie.
No.
Jameson.
No.
Jameson, question to you. Should Rayner be allowed to build houses on Stephen Pound's allotment?
No.
Stephen.
No.
Lizzie.
No.
Ooh, it's a tight one. For you, Stephen, have our police force lost control of the streets?
No.
Lizzie?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
You said that with a straight face, didn't you, Stephen? Unbelievable. Number 4, is it time to recall Parliament over the small boat scandal? Stephen?
No.
Lizzie?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
And number 5, is Rachel Reeves's budget affecting the hospitality industry?
Yes.
Stephen?
Yes.
Lizzie?
Yes.
5-all.
He did have his fingers crossed though.
Did you expect a draw there, Stephen? See, nearly. Well,
Nearly.
honestly, mate, you gave those answers with a straight face, which is, you know, considering the battering you've had tonight on this show is quite incredible. So a big slap on the back there. But have the police lost control of our streets, Lizzie?
Yes, they have.
Tell me why.
I mean, we've got a shoplifting epidemic, but people are just going in. I was in actually a chemist yesterday, a guy just grabbing stuff and walking out. If there's a crime, you can't do anything. You just get a reference number, and people are scared. I had a burglary over a year ago, still nothing being done
Jameson?
about it.
I echo Lizzie. I mean, it's just lawless. I mean, you walk into Tesco's, there's guys just grabbing drinks off the shelf. My children are watching YouTube and TikTok videos, and there's like people just raiding stuff, and I think it's okay. I'm like, no, it's not okay.
Okay. Stephen?
No, I don't think they have, and I don't think it does the police any good to actually accuse them of actually presiding over a lawless country. I don't think that actually helps the situation
That's a
at all.
fact.
But look,
It's
there's,
lawless.
hang on, there's a few things, a few major changes are taking place at the present time. Firstly, in all honesty, the idea that the police have now come up with this thing about the active citizens should get involved, I mean, that's bonkers. It really worries me.
Well, listen, I'm not
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
stabbed.
Well, it's completely wrong. But the reality is that, you know, the really serious crimes are decreasing. There's no question about that. What's really happening is the snatching the phones, it's the muggings, it's the low-level shoplifting,
But
and
we
that
don't-
we
we don't sort the
if
low-
we don't
serious crime.
sort
Sort the
that
low
out,
crimes.
it's the broken windows. Once the windows are one window is broken, then all the windows get broken.
But what happened to the bobbies on the street?
yeah.
We used to have a bobbies on the street.
People
Who
are-
would know where there was
Sorry,
a bit of
Jane.
skullduggery?
People
or
are
any
even robbing
criminals?
kids' school coats these days.
Yeah.
Well,
School coats,
let me
kids'
just
school
tell you
coats.
a thing about the police officers on the street, feet on the beat. You talk to any police officer, they will say feet on the beat didn't work, didn't help, doesn't work.
It does help.
Well, can I just say, what it does actually deters crime. Now, the problem with deterring crime is it doesn't show up on the statistics. So if you have a police officer walking up and down the street and crime doesn't happen, then nobody knows about it. And the problem
But
is
if
we
it-
didn't
the
analyse
crime won't
properly
happen
the
if they see a
benefit of
policeman on the
deterrence.
street.
Guys, I've got to stop you now. That's the end of the quiz. It was 5-all. Well done, Stephen. My other two guests are just scratching their heads in disbelief
Yeah,
at some
I
of
am,
your
actually.
answers. But coming up next, we've got Last Orders. That sounds like Last Orders at the bar. Great ring. They got Lizzie Cundy. She's back. She's had been in a battle earlier on with Stephen Pound. That's the old lefty in the corner.
Well, it's not so nasty because he gave me a lovely cucumber from his allotment. So I'm very happy
Really,
with that.
Too much information there. What are you
Yeah.
going to do with it?
I can't wait. I'm going to have it tonight.
And a cheese sandwich?
Yeah, lovely. Can't wait.
Well, listen, Lizzie, he did get a bit of a pounding, did
Yeah, he
that
did.
Stephen Pound, excuse the pun, but it was all in good fun, good spirits. I
Yes.
mean, we leave as friends because I believe every pub is a parliament.
Yes.
And then we're in a pub Friday night and we chew the fat, have a few arguments,
Yeah.
and have a pint, and then go home.
That's what I
But
love.
Please tell me, I mean, you're a beautiful, glamorous young lady.
Oh, thank you. I like the young. Thank you.
Young. What got you interested in politics?
Well, I've always been interested in politics, and at school I remember them saying, "What's your favourite show?" And I said, "Question Time," and everyone looked at me. Yeah, I've always loved politics. My father was art director at Saatchi & Saatchi, and he used to work with a lot of politicians that used to come over to the house, have dinner. It was a very sociable house, and he did the advert "Labour Isn't Working," which
Wow.
was Margaret Thatcher.
He was,
so
yes.
So he worked alongside Margaret Thatcher. and was a big fan.
So what sort of famous politicians would you have had round for dinner back in the day?
Oh, he had many different. There was Edward Heath. That, you know, we're going back a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people won't remember, but there were huge characters. He liked the big characters. You know, I don't know what, if he were alive today, what he'd think of Keir Starmer, who's like one of the wooden tops. Because everyone my dad worked with was very flamboyant. He said you had to be like that to be a leader. Even Paddy Ashdown was a friend.
Yeah,
but you know, it was just, had personality. To be a leader, I think you've got to have a little bit of charisma.
But of course, Keir Starmer's not here to defend himself, but he probably would agree with you.
Well, I think he would. I think he would say he's not unnatural at doing it. I mean, look at Nigel Farage, for instance. He never looks at his notes. He does it just so organically, very much, I think, like Donald Trump, and throws in a few jokes. He's very warm, whereas Keir Starmer is very wooden.
I think you make a good point, actually, because I think it's always been my sort of belief since I became a Member of Parliament is to make politics, it's a serious game,
Yeah.
but if you can have a little bit of humour in there as well to get people's attention,
Yes.
then they're more likely to listen to the message.
Well, yeah, because then they'll like you. You've got to have that likability. And I've worked with Simon Cowell in the past, and he said, if you don't have that likability factor, you're never going to win. And I'm afraid, I think Keir Starmer hasn't got that, but Nigel has that in buckets.
But of course, in politics, I learned early on, you only need 50% of the people to like you or love you. That's all you need to win. That's what,
Very
because
true.
regardless of what political colours you wear, Lizzie, half the population will always hate you.
Well, that's it. That, you know, and you've got to have tough skin
Yeah.
to be in politics. You know, my dad used to say, have the skin of a Hermes handbag if you're going to get into politics. And I really love it. I'm really interested in it.
Yeah.
And I feel we have a great country here. We've got to make it great again, because what's happening to it at the moment is breaking my heart. And I never think that my own son would leave the country
Make
that
it
we love.
safe again.
So, yeah,
That's what
make it
it's not.
safe. It's not what it used to be. We have to change things.
So if we could put you in government tomorrow, you, as,
Yes.
as a cabinet minister, we'd have to put you in the Lords first, I think, or something like that. Which department would you like to be in charge of?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know whether I'd want the Home Office.
Home Office? You sort the votes out straight away.
Yes, sort the votes out. You know what? I think I do a better job as Chancellor
Yeah.
than Rachel Reeves. You know, I have to say, I really think she should have stayed at the Halifax. I don't think she's out of her depth, Lee. And what I'm worried about is the small businesses, the pubs, the hospitality business that's closing, the national insurance hikes. Everything she's doing is hurting the farmers. I live in a rural, very rural land, a lovely rural village in Surrey, Hampshire borders, and the farmers are distraught. And I was with a farmer just yesterday who's actually in tears in the pub about what she's doing to their industry.
Of course, Rachel Reeves would say that she's implemented this inheritance tax on farms to raise more money for the Treasury, that the farmers can afford it, and it's good for the British public.
Well, it isn't. It is not good for the British public. We need to produce our own food. Look what's going on in the world in Ukraine.
So tell me about
Iran.
Question Time all those years ago, because I used to watch it. I don't watch it now. So I think
No, I think it's gone a bit woke, I'll be
Yeah.
honest. But I used to love Question Time, and they had real characters. Robin Day was the host.
Yeah, with
Remember
the Dicky
Robin
bows.
Day with the Dicky
Yeah,
bow?
the Dicky bows, yeah.
And they used to have full-on fights, and it was, you were able to say what you think, and the audience, I think, were from the heart. They weren't. Now I feel it's all a bit.
But I think
can I say,
politicians
staged.
tended to answer questions back in the day, didn't they?
Well, they did answer questions, and that's one thing I hate. If I was in politics, always answer a question. And I love it when, you can see Trump sitting there, and he has all of the journalists, and he'll just take questions from anyone and answer them. And very interesting, you saw Keir Starmer sitting next to him. He looked like a rabbit in the headlight.
Yeah.
So it was like a headmaster with a schoolboy.
Yeah.
He's scared of the questions coming at him because he knows he hasn't got the answers.
Yeah. So if you could go on Question Time, it's on a Thursday night, isn't it?
It is on a Thursday night, it is.
Who would be the guests you'd like to go on Question Time with, so you could have a real go at them?
Oh, I think possibly David Lammy. I would love a go with David Lammy, I have to say, because
You'd
I
love a
think
go at
he's-
David Lammy? That sounded wrong, that did.
No, I think he's the one of our worst.
Yeah,
He turned up even when Biden was in power in a pair of trainers.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. The man I don't like, I don't rate him. I think he's not fit for the job, and I'd love to tackle him as much as I have done Stephen
And of
Pound
course,
today.
Yeah, David Lamb is not here to defend himself. He will say he's a superb politician with all the right answers. Lizzie, some pint pots down there, the coloured ones down there. Look,
Oh,
with the
right.
flex on.
Oh, I'm matching
Yeah,
my
yeah, they're
outfit.
pretty colours, aren't they?
Very nice.
Match your dress. So you've got the neck oil. I think neck oil, yeah. The last time you did this, you made a bit of a hash of it.
It was atrocious. I mean, you actually nearly threw me out the pub.
Yeah,
It was so awful.
Yeah,
So I'm going to give it my best go.
On then.
Right.
Remember, quick wrist action.
Okay.
That's it. And she's doing quite well, actually. Hey, that's much better, Lizzie. Much better indeed. Slight tiltage. Yeah, bend of the knees.
Oh! Sorry about that.
Put it on the bar. I tell you what.
Actually, do you know what? I'd give that a 9 out of 10.
You would. I'll give it a 5 out. No, maybe I'll give you an 8 out of 10.
That's very good.
It's very good. There's a little bit missing off the top, but...
Do you know what? I think if it all goes wrong, I might...
What is your favourite tipple?
My favourite tipple, well, I do like a glass of champagne.
Obviously.
And my son just got married in Italy, in Venice.
Wow.
And we had Aperol Spritz, was very pleasant.
What's that?
And that's, I'll have to make it for you.
Yeah, what is it?
It's a little bit of Prosecco, bit of soda, Aperol, mix it up, bit of lemon. It's beautiful and nice.
Fairy to me.
But actually, that is very good. I'm very happy. Yeah, I like a shandy.
Okay.
I do like a drink, nice glass of wine, little Chablis. I do like a drink, and I think people will say, "Oh, you shouldn't drink. Don't drink too much." But I think it's good for your soul. It's sociable. It distresses you.
Lizzie, thanks for coming back. I know you was a little bit windswept.
Thank
because
you.
You've had the top down on your car, haven't you?
I had the roof down. I love driving.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I think this Mayor of London is killing
Yes.
the drivers. He wants us all on horse
Killing
and
the
court.
drivers. Lizzie.
But yeah, it's great to be here and lovely to
Come
see
here,
you, Lee.
kiss you.
Oh, thank you, Lee.
That's Lizzie.
Good to see
Last
you.
orders. Thanks for joining me on Lee Anderson's Real World. It's been another great show. It's been a feisty one. Great guests. More of the same next week. But coming up next, we've got Friday Night with Matt Goodwin.